Oh, I was kidding. I know what's going on up here. She's the one usually doing it. Yep. Okay, so she usually takes this doggy clip. Which one is the bow? I'm gonna pull the bow up.
I'm in your way.
I know. It's been a whole season. I gotta, and I haven't been and I don't usually come up here, so I just had to remember. What we want to do is we want to find the front stay, the cable that goes down from the bow to here, and okay, this is the bottom of the mast, so that's helpful, Dave. So she's got, so this did get wrapped. That's what's confusing me. This needs to come around the other side. All right, so you can see where it's on this side of the pole.
Yeah.
So it's going to connect right down here when the pole stood up.
Got it, okay.
So right now, when I start to lift the pole, you won't be able to get to it. So we clip this on. And then she can use this pulley to help pull it up.
Got it.
Because we got to take that base and see these pins right here? Those pins go in those holes.
Okay.
And these slots right here.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll pick up the mast and we'll just take it to the back of the boat, slide those pins into that stand,
So let's start.
and then you'll pull and I'll push.
All right, so I'm pull. Okay, so that's.
You'll just pull on this rope. Let's get that out of the hole so you can work with it. There. And then you'll just pull on that. It'll actually be
From
pulling
up
up.
here, then. I'm pulling this.
Yep,
This way.
yep. So we just got to keep our eyes open and make sure we don't catch anything on the way up. So let's just lift this and bring it back. Yeah, what are those ties there? Did I miss some? I missed one. All right. So that keeps it so you could be closer to the center of the pole. Come back my way. Are we cut? Oh, it's hooked. It's hooked around the vent there. There we go. Okay, you go down. Way down, way down. Yeah. Yeah, you just slide it right into that.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. It just fell off this thing. Okay. Now you just take the other end of that rope. Yeah. And just pull it nice and slow.
Slowly.
And make sure we're not getting caught on anything. You can stay to the bow of the boat.
Stay up here.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna push this thing.
Okay, right now you're just gonna hold the pressure
Okay.
so I can step up one,
Okay.
and then we stand it up. Now you unclip the rope from your little doggy thing there. You get that unclipped, yep. Don't let go of it. Okay. And then it's gonna go right down there in the bow.
How's the hook in though?
Hold on just a second.
Oh, I think that little pin on there?
I've got a kink back here, so can you hold that cable? There shouldn't be too much weight, just keep it sturdy.
Okay.
If you look back here, this thing gets a kink in it. It just kinked itself. That's why it's nice to have two people.
Right, right.
So,
So I see this down here.
yeah,
The pin just come out with that little cotter pin?
exactly.
Okay.
You take your cotter pin out.
Do I need to worry about this?
Nope, I got it.
Okay. Oh, dropped it. And then, doesn't matter which side's up?
Nope. And if you need some more play, I can give you some more. But if you got it, we're good.
Going in the bigger hole, right? It's like a big circle with it, right?
Yeah.
There it goes. That's
And then put your cotter pin back in. All right. So a lot of times when we go to take this off, it's too tight for her to get it loose. So what I'll have to do is you loosen these, and these are counter threads. So if you turn this and don't let the top or the bottom cable go, it'll either extend or shrink. So, and I got in my sailing tool, I've got a nice little claw hook that goes in there.
Oh, it turns out easily.
Yeah. So today, because it looks like it's going to be real tight up there for you, I'm going to turn this so that way. So you go clockwise, but it's actually counterclockwise if you're looking down on it. It comes up that thread and goes down that thread.
So you're turning it that way, and that's to make it
And that'll
tighter,
give you
or
a looser,
loosens it.
so you can get to the front hole.
Okay. So one more time, which direction were you going to loosen?
I was going counterclockwise,
Yeah.
but you can see which it's.
Yeah, I see.
As long as this, you don't let this turn, it'll only turn so much
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay, got it.
But you hold that stiff, and that way it either goes out or in.
Okay. And then when you're done, you tighten those
Yep,
knots
I'll
back
tighten
down
that
again
back
so
up
that-
and get it as tight as I want it. This isn't like a big ship where it's actually got a certain tension, so.
Sure.
All right. So now I'll push on this and give you as much as we can give you.
Okay, let me get the cotter pin out first.
Yeah.
Get that out. Get the pin out. Pull, there we go.
And the reason you want it in that furthest one forward is because you have two sails that you can hook there.
There it is.
Oh, you're in?
Yep.
Okay. So then we'll just tighten it back up. But I will send you a picture.
Back up now a little bit.
I'll send you a picture of that knife that I have. It's got a nice little hook in it
Okay.
that fits into these little holes perfect.
Okay.
This isn't going so well. Of course, I don't have it. I was dragging it around all morning. It was so heavy. I was like, oh, I put my clip on my belt, but I never put it in the clip. So yeah, you can feel there's tension there, but it's not real loose.
Right.
So,
Okay, that's probably.
and that's all you need. And then there's a bottom nut and a top nut that you tighten up against it. Oops.
Okay. That keeps it from moving.
And that keeps it from moving anymore.
Got it. Okay.
And then just kind of lock it in. Oops, keep going the wrong way. All right, so we got the mast up. Now we just need to put sails on it. If you can get all your sails rigged before you get to the water,
Okay.
it saves you just a big headache. You don't have to fight the wind. Every sailboat comes like this. It's not my design.
But you made these, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I had to replace those. Yeah, the ones that were in here were destroyed. So this, after we get underway, you set this against this here, and it gives your back someplace because there's no center rail. Actually, we've got. I like to bring an emergency paddle, so this goes with our kayak, but we don't have a.
Okay. See, there's your gas, right?
Oh yep.
Yeah. I was wondering about that for the engine, though.
You know how outboards work?
Kind of, not really.
Okay. Well, we take that strap off to begin with.
Okay.
That blue strap.
Take it off now?
Yeah. I gotta figure out which sail we're gonna use. What sail is where? What's that sail? What sail is it? Okay, this is your other mainsail. Your other mainsail needs some slugs put on.
Okay.
She has in that box that I gave you earlier, there's a slug and some rope, and it's even got directions in it.
Okay.
So that's basically a slug. But some of these slugs were popped off, so we had to order new ones and never got this one finished.
Okay.
Yep, it's missing a couple of them. But Google's your friend. Ooh. Then here comes the boom, and you'll realize why it's called the boom, because you'll hit your head on it a couple times. That's why they call it the boom. So there's that clip right behind your head. Right behind your head. Yep. And then you'll see a spot on the end of this where it looks like it should hook to.
This guy right there?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Click it on?
Yep. Hi. And then when you can come around here probably, you get a good look. So we got the whole sail crammed in there, but you want to find the top of the sail. Working our way through here. You not only want to find the top of the sail, but you want to make sure you're lacing it as you're finding it, so it's not twisting the sail. So now that I have that, I'm going to set that right where I want it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put this in. So this goes in that hole and slides down.
Okay.
That simple. Then we have a little safety thing here. Gotta go around that. That'll kind of hold that for its duration. And then you kind of just work your way up the bead. And these are your slugs.
Okay.
And then your slugs go in the slot. What I like to do is if you could hand me one of those ties right there, that black rubber tie.
Bigger one?
Yeah, either one. What you want to do is just have something to hold your slugs.
So like every few feet or so, looks like.
Well, you just keep putting slugs in until you run out.
Okay.
But when I get about this many in, I can I can just throw this around.
Oh, okay.
And lift it up out of the way so I don't have to fight with this whole bunch.
Okay.
And then I can just put the rest in.
Smart.
Especially if the wind's blowing and you're up here trying to do this. Yeah, I was really overwhelmed the first time the guy showed us how to do this, but you get out there and start playing with it, it either works or it doesn't. You'll see. I mean, it's not like you can really do it wrong. If you do it wrong, it ain't gonna work at all.
Right.
So.
You pick that out.
Yeah.
Probably coming back.
And then there is a cotter pin supposed to be for right here, but it seems to be missing at the moment.
Is it not this thing down here?
Well, I guess we didn't have one there. It was getting caught on the sail. We took that one out and just used this to hold it up until, because once you pull it up, it's up. So, all right, these are color coded. We've got black is for the jib. That goes to the front of the boat, and then the white one is for the sheet, the main sheet.
Okay.
Your main sheet is the rope that you use to control the bottom of the main sail, and they call it a sheet, the main sheet. Okay. So you just want to make sure it's going on that side of everything, it's all loose, because it's going to pull up the cable. And it should also be color coded. It's got white on it. And I said main sheet, and it's not. It's a main halyard.
Okay. Main halyard, okay.
And they just push in and turn, and then they're locked. So then you pull the main halyard.
You do that once you're in the water.
Yep. You get about that far, and then I tie it off.
Okay.
You just do a figure 8, and then a back loop. You can Google that.
Yeah.
It's a cleat hitch.
Cleat hitch, okay.
All right, we'll probably just leave this on.
Okay.
I don't think she's got ties on it. No ties on it. So we'll just wait on that.
Okay.
And then when we get in the water ready to pull, we'll pull that up. So now we got to just hook up the jib or a Genoa. What's the wind like? Where's the flag? So the flag's not really blowing too hard.
Okay.
So we could either put up, we can put up the Genoa, because I don't think there was no gusts called for. If you want to move your foot just for a sec. So that's the Genoa, I think.
Pretty obvious which is which. Genoa's a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, I think it's no, you know what, that's not the Genoa. The Genoa has blue ropes on it.
Okay.
That's the jib.
So this is the jib.
Yep.
Right now, it's not very windy when you use the Genoa.
It's got blue ropes. Where are you? That's not it. That's not it. That it? That's not it. I don't know where it is. Is it even in here? Maybe this is it. Yep, that's it. Find out your plugs. Oh my goodness, Amy, what did you do to me? That's Lake Ontario, that's Irondequoit Bay. And 53 miles that way is Canada. So you can identify the Genoa, it's got blue ropes.
Okay.
And it's both of these are called Hank-ons. So you see all the nice new boats, they got roller furlers. That's a pole that's hooked here. All they have to do is unroll their sail and they're good to go. But we're still old school, 1977, 1978. So the black one is your jib. Again, we gotta get it free. And we're pinched.
Yep.
That's not good. How did I get pinched? Let's see. If I take the weight off of that. Oh, come on.
Stuck in between the...
Yeah, if you can pull this that way.
Okay.
There you go. So, this is the top of your jib, I think. I think it's the top. Been a whole season and I'm learning all about a whole new boat. Almost forgot all about this thing.
I know. I can imagine what it is.
So, okay, this is the top. And the way you can tell is how it's threaded, that it's got the multiple threads around. It just looks like a top. So again, this just slides in and turns. Get your threads out of the way. And right now you're thinking, what have I got myself into? No, but they just hank on one at a time. So you're going to undo this, and then you're going to keep it handy because you're going to tie it back up when you're done. Yeah. If the wind's blowing, you're going to want to just hug it and become part of its life.
You got to pretty much have a good idea about the winds before you get out, so you don't.
Yep, I use Windy. It's an app.
Okay.
And that'll tell me, you know, what the wind's supposed to be doing at that time. You can check 2 other weather channels and see what they say the wind's going to be, and then you can just go out and look and find out that they're both wrong. But you know, they're pretty good. If they say it's going to be 25-30 mile an hour knot winds, it's probably not a good idea to go out with this boat. You know, this boat's pretty good. Anything under 17, you can try 20 when you get more comfortable with it. But actually, I mean, when it gets up to 25-30 knots, it's a lot of weight. I mean, it's a lot of stress on this old rigging, you know. She's not a speedboat. She's a family cruiser. They're exactly what they were made for. They were made for a husband and a wife, 2 kids and a dog.
That goes in that bigger hole there. Got
Yep.
it. Okay, got it. Okay, this is the Genoa, right?
This is the Genoa.
Yeah, and again, so about 8 miles.
Anything under 8 knots, yeah. If you got gusts that are going to be over 15, then you don't even want to put it up.
Okay. So under 8 knots, it's under that, and go with the jib.
Yeah. If it's only 2-3 knots of wind and you're really struggling to go anywhere, you can put this up, pull it tight, and you'll get something a little bit better. Better than nothing.
I've never seen those little tight things before.
Oh, I love these things. They're great until they start to rust, but they last for quite a while, actually. All right, then we have to take these. This one I still get wrong once in a while, the way that the ropes run, but you got to think about it when you run them. So one goes to each side.
One rope goes to each side, okay?
Yeah, so first thing I do is I separate them.
Okay.
And then the sail's going to be out and around the boat. The Genoa This rope is going to go all the way out and around everything.
Okay.
Keep on going all the way to the back. And then it's going to want to come in here so you can pull it.
Yeah, okay.
So first thing I do, you're going to tie your wow, Dave, really? It's been that long of a day. Okay, figure 8 knot, a stopper knot, figure 8 knot, and that stops it from going back in. Okay. And then you do the same thing on the outside. So what it is you're going all the way out, but that's where you're coming in, so that's where you have to go under. See, normally you go through these pulleys here, but that's where that track's going to come in handy. You'll be able to put one of these pulleys on your track,
okay.
And then you can just run this through the pulley like it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
but the general is so long, again, you'll only have a couple spots you can really run it through.
Like not designed for this boat, or is it?
You know, I don't. It says Oday on it,
yeah.
So I'm not really sure why. I couldn't remember how to make a figure 8 knot. I'm so gonna fail. And we're getting on a ship. Yeah. Yeah, good idea. Alright, I'm gonna tie this up so it doesn't blow around. So she's good to go. So we got the mast, the jib, and what? That pole's got to come off, and we got to put the rudder on.
Okay.
Right down in that hole, there's a rudder on the floor. If you want to hand that up, it'll make you work a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh. It's a good solid rudder. Now if you look right here, you can see these pins that are in here. Yep. They just lift right up and out, and that's how they go back on the same way.
Okay, got it. Yep.
So come on. And you just throw this in your truck.
Okay.
So then those 2 pins go right down into those. And then in there, I haven't seen it, but somewhere there's a blue bag with a handle in it.
Blue bag with a handle.
Yeah, it's a fabric bag like this. Except it's got a handle in it.
Is this over here?
Yep. That's your tiller.
Okay.
For your rudder. Then you can put that back in so we're safe. So this tiller's got a lock washer on it, and I usually don't really have to put a wrench on it. And I do have a pencil mark around where the rudder go, where the tiller goes, so it helps you line up your hole a little bit.
So you're saying you're trying to find the hole.
Yeah. Usually find it right away, not today. There we go. Flat washer, lock washer. It's funny. Amy scurries around here getting 90% of this stuff done. I don't even, never appreciated it until right now. Man, she does a lot. She's not just sitting around the boat. All right, so that's so we got the. This is your tiller.
This is the tiller, okay.
And there's your good solid rudder. He was worried that these, if that was strong, and
got it, okay.
That's all.
Beautiful.
Never even been repaired, so
Right.
it's never been damaged.
Send it if you need to.
Yeah, if you're sitting here, actually, when you're on a nice easy day, and you want to just sit yourself back here, and you've already got your plot, your course plotted out, and talking to somebody. It's nice if somebody's sitting there and says, "Hey, you might want to turn around."
Right.
But
That's that drawbridge up ahead of us.
there is. I made this to help with solo sailing a little bit. So if somebody's down there and you just want to go up front to do something, you can set that, and that way you can adjust it. First, you see which way the boat's going, and make sure it's steering the way you want it. You can adjust it one way or another, and then you get it just about where you want. One thing you got to remember with this boat is it's so small. When you walk up that side of the boat, it's actually going to turn the boat.
Got it. Oh, okay.
So if you're going to walk up that side of the boat, aim your boat just a little bit off from where you think you're going to be.
Okay.
And that'll buy you a little bit extra time.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So yeah, if you go to one side of the boat or the other, it helps steer the boat. All right, so we got our steering capability, our wind capability. Now we need our main sheet. Now I'm with a sheet. I keep saying main sheet and nobody knows what it is yet. And I haven't seen it. We're not going too far without it. There we go. There's a launch rope. There's your main sheet. There's your other launch rope. And your boom bang. We'll put that on later.
So, what's that one?
This is your main sheet.
That's the main sheet, okay. And what was this?
These are just docking ropes.
Docking, oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can hang on to the boat.
Okay.
So save some power for later.
Yeah, I want to take at least a little quick little video more out there.
So not sure how this got wrapped up. I don't want to make it any worse. All right, there we go. All right, so like I said, you worry about how these things go, but I mean, if you don't have them right, it's not going to work. Right. So you really can't get it screwed up. Because if it's tangled, it's not right.
Right.
Once it's untangled, then you'll know it's right.
Okay.
So these cleats, this is a jam cleat. It just allows you to be able to pull the rope through, but not back the other way.
Got it. Okay.
And then if you wanted to release it, you pull it out.
Up a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, in this case, you'll be pulling it down, I think.
Okay.
Which way does this go? Right. What are you missing here, Dave? Boy, it really has been a whole season, hasn't it? All right, so the black goes up. It's pretty crazy.
It's kind of funny. You're watching all these videos the first time, like.
It's so crazy, just because I've been learning so much about this bigger boat. It's just, this is such a basic, simple system. It's really not that confusing once you use it a couple times. So yeah, with this, all you're going to do is you're going to pull it down. It'll come out of the cleat.
Okay.
So surprisingly enough, these are pretty secure. That's all they do is thread in. There's no locking mechanism or nothing. But when you drop it overboard, it really sucks.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I had wind really bad and I lost this one. So what this does is after you unhook this and you have your sail up, you'll be able to let it out to catch wind or bring it back in. And then if you want it kept midship like this and you don't want it swinging around in the wind, you pull it as tight as you can get it. And that'll keep everything nice and solid. You can still hang on to it if you need to. So now we just need engine power, right? We got wind power. So that, I didn't make this notch, it was already here. Still, it's a love-hate relationship with this hose. I did make this little table and I did make that notch. So that one I like. I keep forgetting to drill my cup holder in there, but just never got around to it. All right, so your clip goes up and it goes on there, and just make sure it's locked in. And then this is your choke. It's got forward and reverse with neutral in between. So I go all the way forward, back one, that's my neutral. And then I choke it and I start it.
Okay.
So
What do you normally do? You don't do that until you're already launched and ready.
yeah, I'll crank it over once just before I go, just to make sure it's starting. I put an inline filter in here because when you're constantly putting gas in this thing, and I'm always paranoid something's going to get in there and jam me up. So you gotta, this is your prime bubble, you get it primed really good. It'll fight back, you'll get some pretty good pressure, but not as hard as you think you'd get. And sometimes you have to do it twice, but once it gets going, it's fine. If you stop for like an hour, it might lose its prime, you have to do it again. So again, you'll just pull your choke all the way forward is drive, or forward, then go to neutral, make sure your throttle's down all the way, and then up just a tick. And then kill your choke, give it a little gas, choke it again. Okay, maybe she didn't like the prime. The motor's been babied. I take it apart, I clean it, I silicone, spray silicone in there so stuff doesn't gum up the works. And always use, oh, the fuel is a 50 to 1 fuel. You gonna make me a liar?
That fuel.
She's usually
Find your way.
not really.
Flooded?
I don't know. There. And you don't want to run it too long with no water because it takes water to cool it. So, and she won't give you another hard time at all unless you lose the prime. Our launch ropes. Okay, we got to figure out what side we're going in. Which way is the wind blowing? It's kind of blowing at an angle this way.
Going this side maybe?